Hi, hello. So today we're going to be talking about antis and pro shippers again. Now, the reason we're talking about this is because it showed up on my timeline on Twitter. Every tweet's going to be censored, all that stuff. And some words I'm going to have to censor by saying like R word, P word, whatever else. Because YouTube will take this down if I don't do that. So the other day I saw a thread on Twitter, right? I couldn't get to the exact start of this argument, whatever you want to call it. But the first tweet I could find is, pro shippers complaining about R-word threats. Like, bro, isn't your whole thing romanticizing R-word and statutory R-word? I don't want to get involved in the pro ship anti thing, right? Because that's stupid. But when it comes to talking about real people and real R-word threats, that's where I feel like I want to say something. Because, like, fiction... You can argue about merits in fiction as much as you want. I don't want to get involved in that. When it comes to real people, when it comes to, like, R-word threats, or, like, victim blaming people because they like stuff in fiction, I think it, like, overstepped something to say, hey, R-word threats are the same as you reading this in fiction. I don't want to make a stance on the anti and pro ship thing, because that's not me, okay? Those two words, I've said it before, they're just words. There's no, like, definition behind each term. Like, people all see them both differently. So, like, I'm not going to put myself in either of those categories. What I am going to say is, I don't like harassment of any type, and the fact that, and I don't like people victim blaming, and, like, I don't like real world stuff happening because of arguments over fiction. Now, back to the thing. They put that tweet that I read already, and then pro shippers taking this to mean I support R-word threats. When I was pointing out hypocrisy, I agree it could be read in a skewed light, but come on, is media literacy that dead? No, but they may not have been supporting it, but they were justifying it. That's like saying if you like murderers in fiction, you should get murdered. Or like murder threats are okay. Like, come on. They're saying pro shippers shouldn't complain about R-word threats when some pro shippers don't even interact with R-word content. As I said before, these two terms, anti and pro ship, there's no definition to them. So you're lumping a huge amount of people who have different views into a category, and these two sides argue when some of these people probably have the same exact fucking views, just categorize themselves differently. But whatever, man. This is where it gets kind of fucked up. So this thread goes on, right? I'll put photos of the whole thread. I'm not going to read it all. I'm not going to go through this whole thread because it's not important to what the tweet I'm going to read, which is the one that spurred this video. There's some arguments, and then someone goes, so if I drew a picture of you and your family getting gang R-worded and burned to death, that wouldn't be a problem because it's fictional. But... sorry, it just hit me that they're saying because it's fictional when they're saying you and your family and that, so they're saying that person is fictional? When it comes to real world threats and real world situations, that's where this needs to stop. When it comes to anti-shipping and pro-shipping and whatever else, I feel like go ahead and argue about fictional stuff. You know, the fiction is something you could argue about, interpretations, whatever else, I don't care. When it crosses over into real life things, like threatening real life people, and saying, and justifying the harm of real life people, that's where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, maybe, I think the people who are saying this are probably fucking children who don't even understand what they're saying. But there are adults too who have this mindset, who are part of this issue. And I guess you could say on a lesser note, there's something to be said about real person fiction because it's written about real people. It's real people being written in a fake, a fictional way. But it's still real people it's based on. It's based on real people, and those people's boundaries have to be met. You're not gonna write, you shouldn't write a real person fiction story about something a person has said they don't want written about them. You know? Too long didn't read. Keep reality out of your fiction discourse. It's that simple. Also, comment, like, subscribe. Bye.